What's going on, everybody? I'm thinking it's about time that we discuss my testing with the air intake filter as well as the rear sway bar for the GR Corolla. With the Tom's intake air filter, the intake noise is a little bit better, sounds a little bit nicer, and the throttle response difference is there, but neither of those are really anything to write home about. There's no noticeable difference in power or torque, but based on what I've felt, the car doesn't really struggle to get air to the turbo anymore. Not like it really did to begin with necessarily, but you can kind of tell. But that's really all the review I can give on the air intake filter. If you really want power and torque gains and any real difference in anything intake related, then get yourself a cold air intake. I don't have plans to do that yet, but maybe we'll make a video about certain ones that are out. Anyways, on to the more important part of this video, and the one that you guys are probably here for, the rear sway bar review. With Cusco's rear sway bar, it is so much easier to induce and control oversteer in the GR Corolla, whether you're going through a slalom or even entering into a corner and controlling your rotation throughout that corner. The GR absolutely loves having the bigger rear bar, and this is so apparent because you could feel the rear inside tire lifting whenever you're going into a slalom, entering into a corner, and even during that, you feel the rear end just sliding out on you. But with the GR Corolla's GR4 system, you just get back on the throttle a little bit whenever your nose is pointed in the direction you want to go, and the car will just hook you back on your line, and then you just weave through the slaloms like nothing ever happened. Now, I know some understeer is obviously still apparent in these videos, but I don't think that was because of the suspension. I'm almost certain it's because of my new tire setup that I was testing towards the end of the season. And to show y'all what I'm talking about, here's a side-by-side comparison between the autocross that I was testing out the rear bar as well as the autocross I went to a few weeks prior when I first started using the new tire setup. And I know my big ass head is somewhat in the way of these videos. I'm working on it. I just got to adjust my mount and stuff like that. Don't worry, it'll be better for next season. But I'm hoping that y'all can compare between these videos how much effort it took between having the sway bar and not having the sway bar in slaloms and even in tighter turnarounds. And before you guys say anything, I know, okay, I get it. Comparing autocross runs from separate events is like comparing apples to oranges, but it's what we got. As autocrossers, we don't have a set track. It's always changing. The variables are always different, but the technical obstacles are typically similar in how you're going to approach them and ultimately handle them. So I figured since both of these events were on the same tire, it's what we have to compare, and it should be good enough to come up with a general assumption of how much effort it takes between having the sway bar and not having the sway bar. Now, I'm almost certain that you guys are wondering right now, what tires was I running where I thought that they were the issue and not, the suspension or anything? Those tires are the Yokohama AO52s. And because of how much camber we were able to ink out of the front of the GR Corollas, we thought, myself and a few of my buddies, hey, why not give the yokes a try? So I did. And ultimately, I don't think they're the right tire for this platform, at least not in the street class in autocross, maybe touring, maybe anywhere else you can get a little bit more camber. But the way we can have this GR set up right now, I just don't think that they're it. As compared to the Stones, the RE71 RSs, I feel like the yokes just don't have as much lateral grip. But anyways, back to talking about the rear bar. It honestly feels like the GR came from factory with this stiffer rear bar, because just how natural the car feels whenever you're flicking it into a slalom, whenever you're flicking it into a turn, just driving it in general, it just flows so much better. It feels like you are just so much more in tune with the car. It just does what you want it to do. It doesn't feel like it's holding anything back anymore. And with that, let me know in the comment section down below if I convinced any of you guys to go with a rear sway bar for the GR Corolla. And oh, wait a minute, before I move on any further, I did recently just learn that Cusco's rear sway bar isn't going to be the only one available for this car coming up soon. Eibach is coming out with an adjustable rear sway bar, so I might cover that a little bit later. But anyways, let me know in the comments if you guys are going to get a rear sway bar, and also what tires are you guys running? What do you guys think is the best tire to have right now? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys. Anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing all of your responses, and be sure to leave a like on your way out, subscribe, and ring the bell so you guys can be notified of all of my future content like this coming up here soon. I hope y'all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.